So I've seen the impact before my very eyes, and the idea that it would be against the law to treat your condition, to self-medicate with something that works, that would be a crime is insanity, when it's not harming anybody except the pharmaceutical companies and their profits. Folks in prisons and jails, they don't have a whole lot of time either. There's 700,000 Americans arrested each year, or prosecuted each year for marijuana. There's more Americans in jails and prisons for marijuana, simple marijuana offenses than there is for rape, murder, aggravated assault, and robbery combined. So you can see there's a real disparity on where the resources are going to fight the damaging crime, the violent crime. We think that no amount of marijuana should end up have somebody end up in prison. We just don't think that's right, and that it's draining valuable resources and time and police resources away from serious threats to society.
Legalization would be beneficial because it would result in fewer ethnic minorities, probably in particular African Americans, being arrested for marijuana, which is it's a entry-level drug to jail and probably to a life that denies them access to higher education.
I was first arrested in 1996, and I spent 2 years fighting the system here in King County for the rights of medical necessity. And through it all, my position filed the Medical Use of Marijuana Act, and the people approved it in 1998. In King County, there has been great progress, but in the outlying areas, we're still fighting an uphill battle just to retain our rights.
They've created an environment where people are afraid to speak out, that you can really be persecuted in some circles just for speaking your mind because it's been that demonized. And our answer to all of that is like, well, then where are the casualties of marijuana? Where are all the dead people, and where are all the suffering people, and where are they? And the truth is the casualties are in hospitals not getting safe access to a benign and affordable and therapeutic and non-addictive and non-toxic plant. And the casualties are in jails and prisons all across America, and people have lost their Pell Grants, their student loans, their welfare, lost their housing, their affordable housing. I mean, there's so many things. So they get their house taken away, their car, their entire bank account seized, sometime without even a conviction. You know, federally, for growing marijuana plants, you can get the minimum is 10 years in a federal prison. So that's the minimum for growing marijuana. It just doesn't make sense. We've seen that throughout history, hemp has played so many vital roles in civilization, from clothes, cosmetics, and to food, to hemp milk, or hemp waffles, sources of fiber. And canvas, got hemp flour, ropes and sails, oils, you know, medicinal, psychoactive, and nutritional properties. The Pinta, the Santa Maria, and the three ships that brought Columbus and his crew to America was powered by hemp sails and hemp ropes. The first American flag was that Betsy Ross was made on hemp canvas cloth. The first laws in the 13 colonies in America regarding hemp said that as a farmer you had to grow a certain amount of acreage of hemp. It was a law. That hemp was used as commerce in the early America, in the colonized Americas. Hemp was money. So, you know, hemp is as American as mom's apple pie. And it's just another example of how our cultural and historical history and legacy has been stolen from us as Americans. Hemp was a huge part of the Hemp for Victory campaign during World War II. It's pretty clear that if hemp was so useful throughout history and can have so many, you know, literally thousands of commercial and agricultural and industrial applications, then it would be just as useful right now. There's so many reasons that industrial hemp could help our environment, our economy, our nation in so many ways that it's really critical that industrial hemp is legalized in America really soon.
I think that industrial hemp could be legalized if there were political leaders willing to make that argument in the public setting. I think the main reason it's not legalized now is because political leaders feel that there isn't a strong enough constituency behind it that would allow them to overcome their fears that they might receive criticism from the press.
With industrial hemp, man, there's right now we're facing a global food shortage, a global energy crisis. We have environmental issues, global warming and things like that, soil erosion. There are so many, soil depletion from the minerals and the nutrients in soil that hemp actually replaces and doesn't leach out.
You know, in some ways it reminds me of the parallel to our relationships with communist China that were finally broken when President Nixon visited the mainland China. Up until then, no one wanted to even recognize communist China as a country, which is the largest country in the world, because they were afraid of being accused of being soft on communism. I think the parallel here is that no one wants to even legalize industrial hemp because you're afraid of being accused of being soft on drugs, illegal drugs. And so we need someone, ironically, like President Nixon, to basically say this is time for a change.
Really, hemp could play a great role in securing America's vital interests and our national security by just saving us millions of dollars and giving us some alternatives to growing corn and some of these other wheat and the other biomass crops that are being grown. And additionally, hemp could really help jumpstart our hurting economy as well, because there's just so much commerce that could happen from all these uses. I don't think that Seattle Hemp Fest could have happened in any other city other than Seattle. I just think that this area is so progressive and so liberal, and has such a long-standing respect for freedom of speech and First Amendment issues. The Northwest has a very rich respect for rugged individuality and for maybe dissent. And that said, I think that culturally that Seattle has always been a very green place in that regard. I've just found that the Seattle area just seems to have really embraced this particular issue. I think what we've been able to prove that this area is very open-minded and progressive when it comes to cannabis reform. And I would like to think that Washington State has been a leader in the nation politically as well. For me personally, the biggest reward for all of these years of being involved in this activism has been the amazing group of people that I've come in contact with, and the friends and allies, the community that has come out of it. It's really been surprising how many ordinary people go to extraordinary lengths for something that they believe in when they see so much suffering and so much illogic involved in it. It's been my reward, is just knowing this amazing family of people, not just regionally, but also nationally and internationally. You know, we have a saying that when you're working for freedom, every day is a work day. And people are working for freedom every day all over the world, and that's what keeps us going, is the knowledge that we're not just here doing it alone, but we're part of a big tribe of people. Nothing's more American than fighting for a little more freedom.
Marijuana!